Hello and welcome back everyone to another video. Today we're diving into another video about Alton Towers, which is surprised by the name of my channel. However, today in this video we're going to look at all the hidden secrets and Easter eggs that are hidden at the resort and have a backstory on which makes this theme park so special, from the lands like Forbidden Valley to Exeter and even the creepy and mysterious The Curse of Alton Manor. But first, let's start with the smaller Easter eggs and secrets, then make our way up to a full bunch of Easter eggs. But let's start off with Mutiny Bay. Now we're going to start off with Mutiny Bay. So, Mutiny Bay is a pirate-themed area and is home to some small rides and attractions such as the sea life and especially Heave-O. But as we go on to the bigger rides, the main ride in this area is Wicker, a GCI wooden roller coaster which is themed to wood and fire. Obviously, is not a good mix. But anyway, let's go on with the secrets. So, did you know that in the Wicker queue line, people might not have noticed this, but a part of the queue line is shaped into two letters, which being W and M, which stands for Wicker, which is obviously the name of the ride.
Oh my god! Wow!
However, in the queue line, you might have not noticed this, but there are random symbols all across the queue line as well. However, did you know that these symbols actually mean something? Well, Wicker has its own alphabet, and there are different things that you can spell while you're waiting for the ride. So be sure to look out and have a go of spelling all the words in the queue line. But also there is a hidden secret in the ride photo stand, which is quite strange. But if you look up behind you when you're looking at your photos, you'll notice that there's a huge Wicker sculpture standing right behind you, and also there's one when you exit the gift shop, which is a nice little touch to the area. But enough from Wicker and Mutiny Bay. But however, if we come out of Wicker, there is a pub called the Welcome Inn, which is linked to an old scare maze that used to be at the park, and they did this to advertise a new ride, which is Wicker that was coming in 2018. We better stop with the Wicker nonsense and we better head over to Exeter. So let's go over to there right now. As we head over to Exeter, where you can find the Smiler and Oblivion, which this area has a lot of history behind it. But as we start off with the Smiler, there's some small little things that you might have missed out when queuing for the ride and also when you're exiting the ride. So we better start off with the ride's baggage area. If you look up, you can see some paint rollers that just stuck to the ceiling for some reason. Well, these paint rollers showed the late opening of the ride due to some technical difficulties, and they are stuck up there today to this day. However, something that is funny is that during the construction of the Smiler, they had accidentally misplaced a support footer, and they still haven't removed it yet, and it's still standing there. But, however, if you go to the Smiler's entrance, you can see random cameras around the sign. But can you guess how many there is? Of course, there is 14 cameras that shows each of the versions which the Smiler holds. The world record, and the Smiler is a world record breaking coaster with the most inversions being 14. However, if we go to the queue line, where in the queue line you might notice these little details, where you have to stand at a certain angle to see this sort of illusion, which it says SW7, join us and you belong to the Smiler. However, let's go on to Oblivion and make our way over to Oblivion, where this ride doesn't really have a lot of secrets, but there is one and some other things. What this is, but there's this metal ball thing that sits in this big container, and then there's got some flashing lights on it, but people don't know what it actually is. But did you know that this is actually a projector? But this projector could have been used for manning two swords, or it could have been used for the old cinema that used to be at the Alton Towers as well. But however, have you noticed that the Oblivion queue line is quite long? Well, this queue line has been estimated the length of Oblivion's track twice, which is really long. Also, the queue line was built from the dirt of the Oblivion's hole when they were digging it up. But that is about it for X Sector, but we better go to Dark Forest. Dark Forest is home to two attractions in the land, which is 13 and Rita. Now, this area doesn't really have a lot of Easter eggs and secrets, and not really a lot of history, but there are a couple. So let's start off with 13, where, as you might have seen at Alton Towers, the 13 queue line is very well themed, but Alton Towers has placed this van in the middle of 13's queue line, where it's been attacked by vines, and on the side, you might have not noticed, there's a very old original logo, and it's on the side of the van, still there today, and they haven't changed it. However, before 13, the corkscrew, the first part coaster, was standing there and was removed to make way for 13. However, the original corkscrew's lift motor can be seen in the drop track sequence when it stands on the side covered in vines that hints towards a flashback to the original coaster that stood there. However, when I had a look at Rita's Easter eggs, the only secrets I could find is some posters on the wall that says Queen of Speed, which is what Rita used to be called before it had its Dark Forest overlay. But as we go over to the Curse of Alton Manor, there's a lot of secrets in this area, so we better go over there now to uncover some lots of more secrets. So let's go over to there now. So before we venture into this ride, outside the entrance you might see many for sale signs outside the entrance, and these for sale signs say Wardley Estates, which is linked to the John Wardley, the designer of many different rides in the park, including Jewel, the Haunted House, and now the Curse of Alton Manor. And there is many more that he's built, such as Air or Galactica, as you call it, and Nemesis and Return, all other coasters like that, even Smiler as well. But these signs are linked to John Wardley, but there is also a sign that's linked to John Burton, the creative leader of Merlin Magic Making, and he's the person that did all the theming for the Curse of Alton Manor. And there are many other rides and attractions in the area, but as we make our way into the queue line, we can spot many different gravestones that link back to the original rides that were there at the park, such as the Corkscrew, Ripsaw, and also the Flume, and many more. However, as we make our way into the ride, there is many different Easter eggs, such as a duck from the Flume. There is a saw blade which links to Ripsaw, and there's many other things such as the Corkscrew and the Wild Mouse. And one that people haven't noticed, and there is a toy car that says Queen of Speed, which links to Rita. But in the queue line there is a page board which tells you the price of the info about the house. But the price of the house is 1,992,000, which, as you might have seen, it says the year when the original ride opened, which is 1992. However, I go to the best themed area in the park, which is Forbidden Valley, as there is so many different Easter eggs and secrets. So we better go over to Forbidden Valley to uncover all these Easter eggs and secrets. So let's go over to there now. Now we are going to go on to the good stuff. Now, as we make our way over to Forbidden Valley, where there is so many things that I've sort of put together, but I've shortened it down to 12 Easter eggs and facts. But as we start off with the most noticeable Easter eggs, which first we're going to look at the bus that is crashed near Nemesis and has some letters and numbers on the side that spells SW3, which is the code name for Nemesis when it was during construction of the ride. However, there is some Easter eggs that are sitting that are around the area. Like on the helix for Nemesis Reborn, there is a helicopter sitting right in the middle, which is a very noticeable thing. And as we can see, there's some letters on the side, but these letters actually stand for something, which is "Sit back, it's fright time," which is the old original Nemesis slogan. However, if we go to the helicopter, which is near Subterra, there are some eggs that are on the bottom just laying there, and these eggs actually refer to Nemesis Subterra as well. And yeah, that's about that. But you might have not noticed that I've just said there's a massive helicopter in the way under all these eggs, but this helicopter actually has a name, which is a really good thing for a detail. But this name is actually stands for something, it's called Thunder V. Now, Thunder V actually has a backstory to it. So when Forbidden Valley first opened, it was originally called Thunder Valley, and it got changed to Forbidden Valley. So yeah, that's a nice little detail to put on the side of thing. But there is a couple more Easter eggs around Nemesis Reborn. So if you look in the right queue line, there is a massive gun that stands it and shoots Nemesis as it goes over the corkscrew. And there are some numbers and letters which are on the side. And all I know that on it is Forbidden Valley 1994 and Thunder Valley and also 2024. But however, I bet you didn't know this one. As the tentacles above, if you notice the tentacles above the station, there's lots of tentacles all the way around. These tentacles actually mean something. So if you have a look around it, you'll see that the tentacles are actually shaped into different numbers for the rows as you enter the station, and they're all numbered up for from the creature's tentacles, and you can head to which row you go to. But that's enough about Nemesis, but we will go back to it in a minute. But however, we better head back to the queue line, where there are two missing pieces. There's some tracks in the queue line, and these pieces of track actually is two pieces of track that didn't actually fit during the construction of Nemesis Reborn. They were used for theming in the ride area, but we better head back to Bunker 94. But before we head over to Bunker 94, we can see there's lots of shipping containers, because this is what Merlin just loved. But you can see many different familiar names on the side of the containers, such as the two Johns, being John Wardley and John Burton. But as we head over to another shipping container, we can find Bianca on the side of the container, which is the divisional director of Alton Towers. But let's go back over to Bunker 94, which is Nemesis Reborn's shop. But the name of the shop is Bunker 94, like I said, and the 94 part is linked to the original Nemesis opening in 1994. But enough about the shop's entrance, as we go inside the shop, where we can find many different things on the shelf. But one noticeable thing, there's a massive eye, and this eye was actually from the original Nemesis, that sits on the shelf looking at guests below. But did you know that there's a massive Nemesis model in the middle, which, by surprise, you probably not have noticed it, even though I've noticed it straight away. But this model is actually what they used for the construction of Nemesis, to have a look at what they needed to build and to see what the station would look like. But yeah, that's it for this station. But however, be ready, as we're uploading 3 new videos regarding something special that is coming to this channel. But if you've enjoyed this video, click that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!